ARAM, also known as All Random, All Mid. ARAM is one of the most fun and popular game modes in League of Legends history, and one of the few game modes Riot didn't rip from our hands. Rest in peace to Twisted Treeline and Dominion. However, I bet you didn't know the actual ARAM game mode wasn't created by Riot Games. Oh no. ARAM was created by the community, which later got turned into a real game mode that Riot officially released. However, the ARAM of today is nothing like the ARAM of the past. So many features and changes and events have happened to ARAM that it's almost unrecognizable to the ARAM that we know today. So I thought it would be a perfect time to actually document the entire history of ARAM, from where it started all the way to where it is today. And I believe I'm the perfect man for this job. So to tell you the full story of ARAM, I'm gonna have to take you guys back to the start of League of Legends. Now, you guys might be thinking right off the bat, why is ARAM called ARAM? All random, all mid. But there's only one lane. Now that's a very good question, my good sir. And that's because ARAM wasn't always played on the Howling Abyss. The Howling Abyss didn't even exist in the early stage of League of Legends. During League of Legends' infancy stage, the player base was just trying to discover and find new ways of playing the game. So there would be a bunch of custom lobbies that people would host with different game modes that people created. And some of the most popular community created game modes from my memory were Chase the Teemo, as well as the classic Hide and Go Seek. But there was one game mode that gained the most popularity out of all of them, and that was ARAM. And during the early seasons of League of Legends, the ARAM game mode was only played on Summoner's Rift. And that's because there was only two available maps at the time, Summoner's Rift and our beloved Twisted Treeline. And the rules for ARAM was very simple. All random champions, all mid. So that means there's no jungling, that means there's no going bot, that means no going top. You can't even take Baron or Dragons while you're playing ARAM. The entire objective is to fight mindlessly until one of your nexus explodes. And also, the most important rule of them all, you are not allowed to recall or go back to base to heal, no matter what. You must die on that battlefield. However, there was a couple downsides to this early version of ARAM, mainly because it was on the Summoner's Rift map. You experience a lot slower gold regeneration rates as well as experience rate. Another downside of ARAM being played on Summoner's Rift is that technically there's no rules that people actually had to follow. Because you're on the Summoner's Rift map, somebody could just get bored and go bot lane or start jungling. There's no real rules for anyone to stop you. And on top of all that, technically there was no ARAM queue at the time, because technically ARAM wasn't a game mode that existed, so you would have to wait in custom lobbies until they became full just to start an ARAM match, and sometimes that would take a couple minutes to even maybe an hour. And during my research, I wanted to find out who created ARAM and when it was created, but I ran into a couple problems. Firstly, the League of Legends forums, the very old ones, have been shut down for plenty of years now. I did find a YouTube video for a tutorial on how to play ARAM, but that was dated on January 2012, and I know for sure ARAM has been out before then. So I decided to use one of the most powerful tools of all time, Google. More specifically, Google Trends. So I decided to search a bunch of terms regarding ARAM pertaining to League of Legends, and the earliest instance was for ARAM LOL, and that was on May 2010. So with that piece of information, I would guess that ARAM was created around early 2010 or late 2009. And since we don't know who created ARAM and for what reason, I decided to give you guys my theory on what happened. And before I give you guys my theory on how ARAM started, I actually found out how ARAM started thanks to my YouTube comments as well as a guy on Reddit. Apparently ARAM has existed for a long time, even before League of Legends existed. And just like League of Legends itself, ARAM was taken directly from Dota. And if we want to get real technical, in our human evolution, even in battle, we used to run headfirst into battle, all mid, literally. So remember kids, if you ever think that you have an original idea, you probably don't, because behind any great idea, invention, or country, somebody either thought of it first or it was stolen from somebody else. I'm still going to include my theory because it probably explains why ARAM became so popular. So let's get back to the video. Especially in early League of Legends, since there was only 2 game modes, Twisted Treelon and Summoner's Rift, I'm guessing that people wanted a more fun, faster paced game mode. Did somebody say fast and fun?
Fast, it's fun.
No, hot shot, not right now, not you. We're not talking about Dominion. We'll get to you in a second. But as I was saying, I believe that ARAM was strictly created for the for fun player base. Just a fun game mode that someone can just jump in and go stupid. They don't have to worry about macro, items, anything. The only thing they have to worry about is get your ass in the mid lane and get to fighting. And I think Riot saw the community made game mode and decided to release their own game mode specifically for the for fun player base, which was indeed Dominion. And Dominion was released on September of 2011. Okay, hot shot, go ahead.
Fast, it's fun.
And the main reason why I'm even bringing up Dominion in the first place is because the release of Dominion started a new branch of ARAM, also known as ARAB. Not that ARAB. Brother, ARAB stands for All Random, All Bot. But this time it was played on the Dominion map. And the rules were very simple. Only bottom, and you guys are only allowed to capture the 2 points on the bottom. And the first team to lose all their life points loses. And for ARAB, it was a very popular game mode in the community, mostly because the Dominion map had increased gold, increased XP generation, as well as faster spawn times and even more unique items. This just caused the game to be an even faster version of the Summoner's Rift version of ARAM. However, based on my research, it seems like the ARAM version was still more popular than this ARAB version. And after a while, the popularity of ARAM and ARAB couldn't go unnoticed by Riot Games. And due to the high demand of ARAM, they decided to give the community a little present. In June 2012, during the same patch that released Pulsefire Ezreal, Riot released the map Proving Grounds and made it available to be played during custom lobbies. And the Proving Grounds wasn't a new map, it was a map that was already created and available through the old tutorial of the game. And the key thing about this map is that there was only one lane. This made it the perfect map to play ARAM on. So instead of hoping people would just follow the rules by not recalling, staying mid, they added additional features to this map to improve the ARAM experience. A lot of these features are features that you guys know today. Some of the changes include starting at level 3, starting with 1,375 gold, increased gold and XP rates. If you walk back to the base, it will no longer heal you as soon as you leave. And they also added 4 health packs that we know and love today, and a bunch of removed items including lifesteal items and revive items like GA. After the release of this map, the game mode's popularity took off according to Google Trends. However, there were still 2 problems with this version of ARAM. Number 1, you still had to create custom lobbies and wait for people to join before you could start. And number 2, this map had nothing to do with the actual game or lore. The map was just supposed to be used for the tutorial. So after approximately 1 year, on May 2013, Riot hosted their big event on patch 3.6. This event was also known as the Freljord event. And I know definitely some of you old heads remember this event. This was the same event that you guys had to pick between 3 factions, either Ashe, Lissandra, or Sejuani. And if you guys were wondering, I'm repping that Ashe gang for life. But also, one cool thing I found is that Riot actually released the percentage of people who picked each faction based on the region. So go ahead and pause now if you guys want to see your region. But shout out to my Ashe gang, we want an A. Some other things that happened during this patch was Lissandra's release, as well as Sejuani's rework and Trundle's rework. And the most important thing of them all, this was the official release of the ARAM game mode. And for the official release of the ARAM game mode, they released the new map Howling Abyss. Yeah, looks real new. Also, for the Howling Abyss map, Riot made a couple much needed changes, like adding new items as well as adding the reroll mechanic, so at least you have more than one shot at getting a better champion. And most importantly of them all, the Poros. Look how cute these boys And you can feed them?
Nice. Made me happy, made me smile. Nice.
So that's pretty much the history of ARAM and how it started. Let's go over some changes and different events that have happened throughout ARAM's history from 2013 all the way to now. Fast forwarding a couple years after the Freljord event, we have the brand new ARAM event that took place around season 5, and this was the Bilgewater's Burning Tides event. This was the event that Riot expanded the lore on Bilgewater, including updated stories on some of our favorite champions, including Graves, Twisted Fate, MF, Lucian, Alawi, and even Gangplank. And also, during this same event, Riot murdered Gangplank in cold blood and had him disabled for an entire week. So for the entire week, you couldn't play Gangplank. But after that week, Gangplank came back stronger than ever because he was reworked into the new Gangplank that we know today. Maybe I should do a video on old Gangplank. But during that same event, we got the Bilgewater ARAM map, also known as the Butcher's Bridge. An entire visual update to the map, making it look sexy as hell. And even the little details, like instead of a snowball, you throw oranges, and instead of turning into a portal, you would turn into like a mini ship. And I didn't even realize before researching this video that this map has returned multiple times. So 3 years later, in season 8, during the release of Pike on patch 8.11, and this was a very important patch for ARAM's history because this patch included some crucial changes to the ARAM systems. During this patch, Riot introduced the available champions pool. This allows you to keep all the reroll champions, including your teammates' reroll champions, in case you would want to pick them. On top of that, Riot included some fun, unique items that you guys could play around with. Some of you guys might recognize some of these items because those items were reused later on in the future. But the one item that I remember the most vividly was the one item that you would activate and then you would return to that place after 4 seconds. This made for some insane clips. Also, one last crucial change Riot made during this patch was turning the health relics from a single target heal to an AoE heal. This change alone slowed down the amount of people that were flashing for health packets during ARAM. And then finally, the Butcher's Bridge returned for a third time during patch 9.7 in season 9, with a couple of changes, but none of them were worth noting here. And then after the Bilgewater event in season 10, Riot removed Oracle Extract, so this made it really hard to fight other invisible champions, especially Teemo Shrooms. Also, at the end of season 12, Riot introduced the gates. Later, bitch! Since Riot introduced the Hextech dragons and the Hextech portals, they included that type of portal into ARAM, also known as the Frost Gates. And that gate will actually let you get from base all the way to your furthest tower. And this change was amazing, especially as a Heartsteel player. This made me stack even faster. And then finally, we have reached the last and most recent event, the Arcane event. So after season 2 of Arcane, just last year in 2014, not 2014, what the fuck am I saying? 2024, Riot revamped the ARAM map, turning it from Howling Abyss to the Bridge of Progress. So one side of the map was Zaun, and the other half was represented by Piltover. And to say the map was somewhat controversial would be an understatement, because it doesn't seem like the League of Legends ARAM community liked this map at all. But I ain't gonna lie. I kind of like the map, like low key. I always like new shit, so the new revamped map was really nice to play on. The only thing I would say that they need to change for next time is the fucking bushes. That cloud shit, fuck that shit. You guys gotta get rid of that. And with that being said, we have finally reached the end of the entire history of ARAM. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you don't mind, make sure you drop a like on this video if you made it all the way here. Also drop a comment, maximum aura, if you know, you know, just so I know that you made it all the way here. And if you want to see even more League of Legends content or videos, click on one of the videos on the screen right now. And don't forget to drink some water and enjoy your motherfucking day.